putting our technology to the test with the bravest and brightest crew assembled. While other engineers are flying in on fancy jets to CES, the Intrepid team is using our products in the wild on a road trip to Vegas, and you're getting a front row seat to see the action.
Welcome back to day 2 of our epic road trip to CES. We are leaving Oklahoma and heading to Texas. Joining us is John Simon, the author of Automotive Ethernet, The Definitive Guide, 2nd edition. His book was recently published and is already making waves in automotive industry. So John, how is your book about Automotive Ethernet applies to this car?
Okay, when you think about it, the Ethernet in a vehicle fundamentally is a network, and it's growing, evolving rather quickly with all the new features added to the vehicle, like autonomy and advanced safety systems. So to put things into context, let's jump back 30 years when they first were put Ethernet into homes for internet. You ran at your house, you had one computer, you could surf the internet, you could check your email, everything was great. Then they had voice over IP, so you add a phone to it and things are working great. Then Netflix comes along and all of a sudden your audio's terrible for your phone, or you're getting skippy or stuttery video with Netflix, and that is a problem that has to do with something called quality of service. And that's when you have multiple applications sharing the same network, you need something in place to ensure quality of service guarantees in terms of latency of information, in terms of reserved bandwidth, and in terms of just managing the traffic to make sure that everything that shares that network has the network resources needed to complete, to give it services. So this is where it comes into the vehicle. Ethernet's not new to the vehicle, but they're going to a zonal architecture where you're basically putting all of the subsystems of the vehicle onto a single backbone or a single network. And you need quality of service in that network to ensure that your safety system isn't impacted by your rear seat entertainment or your telematics or your phone calls. So the section of the book that I focused on was called Time Sensitive Networking and Audio Video Bridging. And it is several chapters that focus on different IEEE standards that are basically tools in a toolbox to ensure that the network applications that share the network have the sufficient and necessary qualities of service guarantees to ensure that they meet the needs of the vehicle. So there's things like bandwidth reservation, there are things like traffic priorities, there is protocol for time synchronization, and all of these are integral to all the devices on the network, like the switches. The switches are kind of like traffic cops, and so they enforce bandwidth reservation or bandwidth limitation. They enforce priorities of different traffic classes of the network. So everything I wrote in the book was related to these different tools in the time-sensitive networking toolbox.
Thanks, John. It was great to have you on the road today.
Oh, thanks. It was kind of fun. It was like the coffees, comedians, and cars. Except I'm not actually driving and you're not funny. So what is the deal with Ethernet?